Nobody talks about toilet seat covers. What's going on? Let's talk about toilet seat covers.
Alexis Sunshine 83, it's always sunny here. Boop.
Hey Sunshiners, Alexa Sunshine 83 here. I can't even explain to you how happy I am to see that whimsy has been trending this year. As a lover of the whimsy goth aesthetic, this is right up my alley. When I think of whimsy, the words that come to my mind are magical, ethereal, fantasy, fun. Although I don't think you necessarily can buy whimsy, it's more of a state of mind. I did want to share my own list of ways to add more whimsy to your fashion and your life as inspo. Most of these I am personally trying to embrace as well. So yeah, let's get into it and level up in our whimsy. The most obvious way to add whimsy is anything glittery, sparkly, sequins. Eyeshadow is probably the easiest way to add whimsy to your outfit. Like, you could be wearing a completely plain outfit, but you add a little sparkle on your eyes and it changes the game. I did try to do more of a whimsy eyeshadow look today. I don't think you'll necessarily be able to see it on this camera, but I'll add a clip with flash so you can see it in all its glory. Lip gloss that has little glitter shimmery. I am using the Fenty Beauty in the color Riri Gloss Bomb, and it has just an ever so slightly little glitter in there. Even though like my lips aren't just like fully glittery, it's just that like little nice touch. A trend that I think perfectly is showing this whimsy seeping into the mainstream especially is hair tinsel. Oh my gosh, so whimsical. To me, purple is the most whimsy color that exists. I'm sorry, there is no other color that can compare, and I have been actively trying to add more purple into my wardrobe. Honestly, because of this aspect, maybe even not intentionally. Obviously with whimsy goth, purple is a really big component in it. All shades of purple just add this like magical, again, that fanciful feeling to it, even if it's just a simple t-shirt or shoes that are purple. Oh my gosh. I think all tattoos could be considered whimsy, but especially color tattoos, like that is on another whimsy level. I personally only have black tattoos, and I don't think I would ever get a fully colored tattoo. I'm not opposed to some accents of colors, but I do prefer on myself black. However, I can appreciate and love color tattoos. A home decor thing I think adds so much whimsy are colorful or pattern toilet seat covers. I don't know if I could do this on my like rental apartment toilet, but man, do I want a pink toilet so bad. And I think a compromise is a pink toilet seat cover. I feel like this is a home decor accessory that is underutilized. Nobody talks about toilet seat covers. What's going on? Let's talk about toilet seat covers. Similar to that are outlet covers. Why just have a boring, usually white, bland outlet cover when you could have a fun, whimsy one? This is definitely something I really want to do because it just seems like such an easy swap, especially as somebody that is a renter. Like when you need to move out, you just put the old one back on. Like, this is such a no-brainer. Adding any type of DIY to your clothes instantly gives it more whimsy. It can be as small as sewing a little patch, or adding some embroidery, or cropping something, chopping up a bunch of thrifted clothes to make your dream item, tie-dyeing, screen printing. Like, truly, the DIYs to add whimsy are very endless, and I don't think you necessarily even have to be the crafter. Even if you buy something that has been DIY'd or like handmade, is in kind of this same vein of like buying from a small business. There's this one seller that I had seen at a vintage market that takes thrifted pieces and adds embroidery of like bugs and flowers. And again, it's taking something that fantastic, you know, in the beginning, but now is more unique and more special. Like, even if somebody were to copy a DIY that you did, it's never gonna be exactly the same because they cannot replicate your hands. If your style is a little bit more on the simple side, but you're still wanting to add whimsy in your comfort zone, I think non-neutral jackets are the perfect addition. A pink jacket, a yellow jacket, magenta, purple, even red. I have a red jacket and it's just such a nice like pop of color that feels a little bit different than just wearing my black leather jackets. I do have high on my list that I really want to find a pink or purple jacket. That would be ideal. That's on my thrift wish list. I am manifesting because I think no matter again how plain your outfit is, something like that is going to feel like a little extra, again, oomph. I think there are specific shoe styles that could be considered whimsical. I did want to highlight specifically 2 brands and also like collab collection that I think if you're wanting to find whimsy shoes, that is where you should go, because number 1, John Flew Vogue. They have been doing whimsy forever and they have the most unique and fun colors, silhouettes, heel looks. Like I truly think it is coming out of a childhood's like imagination, because I'm like, how are you coming up with this? A little outside of my price range, so I just go on there for inspo and also manifesting that I'll be able to find a pair on a like secondhand fashion online resale site or app. The other brand is Melissa, but specifically their recent collab with Susan Fain. Oh my goodness. I haven't been super into like jelly shoes and clear shoes, like the plasticky style, but I did get some fisherman sandals from Melissa because of my toe situation, and that kind of has changed my mind. And then this collab came out and I want all of them, the ones with the butterflies, then kind of that like crystal shoe look, so fascinating. The only thing is I don't know how wearable they would be in my wardrobe, so that's why I haven't purchased any and I'm just appreciating from afar, but they feel like they came straight out of a fairy tale. Another obvious one is colorful hair. I have been this close to dyeing all of my hair pink or doing a pink ombre or pink streaks. I think I will do pink streaks this summer. I'm just waiting until after the Florence and the Machine concert because the pink doesn't really like go with the outfits that I have planned. If I didn't love being low maintenance with my hair so much, I would be doing so many different colors all the time. I just really love the creativity that hairstylists have had with colorful hair and all the different techniques and looks. I mean, it's literally a piece of art. I love stained glass. I don't think I'll ever own a home that already has a stained glass window, so maybe I'll make my own or just stick to stained glass art because that would be the more affordable option. But I want to make my stained glass dreams a reality. There's actually someone on Instagram that does like stained glass art pieces. She hasn't restocked in a while, but when she does, I will be ordering. I think this also can go with stained glass lamps. I have my stained glass calico cat lamp that I thrifted last year, and that brings me so much joy. I would love to find more stained glass like light pieces because it really is the definition of whimsy, and I think that one perfectly kind of correlates into whimsy goth. I think of Sabrina Spellman's bedroom with her lamps. It really has that like 90s feel to it, and just the stained glass lamps they were making were on another level. Why don't we have more new whimsy stuff? It's always really cheap. If it has any type of like character, it's really cheap and like not character in a fun way. It just seems off, which is why obviously thrifting, home decor, all that stuff, I know it's probably still cheap when it was made, but it feels better. You cannot argue that a bell sleeve is not the most whimsy sleeve silhouette. It just feels like I'm putting a spell on you when I move my arm. When I'm getting my coffee and the bell sleeve like moves slightly in the wind, it feels so ethereal and magical of I'm just gliding through this earth in my bell sleeves. And I want to thrift more bell sleeve things. I've spoken about this, I think, in my like things I'm pinning video, or maybe another like fashion stuff I'm into, because I will not stop talking about it until I own all of the bell sleeve tops. Fun pimple patches have to be one of the best things that have come out of the past 5 years. Starface or even Hello Kitty pimple patches. I know a lot of people don't like them, especially when like adults are wearing stickers. I personally love them as somebody that gets a lot of acne, and a normal pimple patch, you can still see the pus, whereas the ones with patterns and fun things about them, depending on the color, will not show the pus that is coming out of the pimple, of the whole purpose of the pimple patch, and concealer will just not cover it. So like, would you rather look at pimple pus or a fun little star? Fun hair accessories is probably the easiest way to add whimsy to any of your outfits, and a lot of times more affordable than buying like a new clothing piece, and you're gonna get more wear out of it because it's a hair accessory. You could wear every single day with a different outfit and it's gonna give something completely different. I also love all of the different styles of hair accessories. Like, it's not just a hair clip. There's like, I don't know, 100 different like types of options of hair clips from different small businesses that are so creative. I have a hair clip that's inspired by stained glass lamps. Like, that is just going to instantly add something really fun to my outfit, especially if I'm feeling like, ooh, I need to crank up the whimsy factor. I can put that hair clip, or I have a button hair clip. So cute. Polka dots can be whimsy, but I do think specifically colorful polka dots are where that whimsy is. Black and white polka dots, to me, are a little bit more on the like chicer side. I don't know why I see them as chic, but I do. Whereas colorful polka dots really take it into this playful aspect of how I see what whimsy is. I think it's because it reminds me of my childhood, of all the JCPenney catalogs where all the bedrooms were like maximalism to the max, and I think colorful polka dots were like a really big trend at that time, whether it was a bedspread or even clothing items. Just colorful polka dots has this like childlike aspect that isn't childish, and I think that's where like whimsy as a term lives for me. It's not childish, but it's like it's taking the like magic of childhood, but being able to do it in a like, you know, whatever your age is type of way, of not wanting to look like a child, but being able to embrace stuff that you loved as a child. That's at least like the distinction for me of like what whimsy is, and I think that's why then colorful polka dots really like live really strongly in my idea of like a whimsy pattern. My last way to add whimsy is to just do things out of joy. So whether it is choosing something that's like the non-traditional thing, like I use a soap dish as my beauty blend holder, and it has like ducks on it, and that is just like brings me joy every time I go into my bathroom. Or something that isn't about purchasing but taking yourself on a solo date. John and I have been playing tennis with each other. I say playing very loosely because we are very bad, but it's just for the fun of it. One thing that I did recently buy is this Chapel Roan themed mouth guard holder merch with a bedazzled butterfly on it that screams whimsical. Why wouldn't I want to put my TMJ mouthguard in that versus the one my dentist gave me that is red, white, and blue tie-dye? Taking a bath once a week can add whimsy to your life, and that obviously the more efficient way to bathe is a shower, but you're choosing the bath to really sit in that feeling and relaxingness. Also, just in general, being passionate about something and not being afraid of cringe. That is whimsy. I'm really curious if there's anything that I didn't mention in this video that you do that adds whimsy to your life or your style. I think my favorite thing about kind of whimsy being a trend is it really is however you want to take it that brings in joy to your life. I saw a lot of people just adding sprinkles to their coffee. That seems like such a small thing, but yeah, why not add sprinkles to your coffee? It definitely has taken on so many different meanings depending on the person, especially with this video. So many other creators have made their own version, which has been so fun. I did actually already film this video last month, but as I was exporting my footage onto my computer, I saw that Beep World had posted hers, and when I watched it, I realized we almost said the exact same thing for so many of them. And although I do think there is still overlap because there are just some things that are whimsy and whimsical that are universal, I am hoping that I was able to add onto them with refilming it. However, I do feel like now, it being a month since I initially had been inspired to make this video, I feel like a lot of people are starting to turn their backs on whimsy as a concept because of potentially how oversaturated it has been, and brands are now using it as a selling tactic. I have seen multiple ads from H&M with whimsy in it, and H&M is the most whimsy fast fashion brand there is, and I feel like that was kind of a sign that the whimsy trend is dying, but it's not dying in my heart. Alrighty, I think that takes us to the end of this video. If you would like to see my face again, then make sure you subscribe right down below. Also follow me on Instagram, which is AlexSunshine83. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!